Good evening. Along with me, I also Rishikesh.
Hello everyone.
So yeah, I will be taking you through my back first. It is time to switch from purple to blue. All my slides will be blue color, and it's the last session. We have given 1 hour slot, but we'll try to wrap up in good, 35-40 minutes, and then we'll have some time for interaction. That's what the agenda is. It's a very different talk. I'm gonna talk more on the actual real use cases that we have implemented as financial services firm. So for us, we are business-oriented firm. Everything for us is revenue driven. We do not do a lot of research and that area. I mean, conventionally, we are 37 years old firm, focusing more on generating revenues and helping our customers grow their wealth. So at some point of time, each one of you must be interacting with any kind of financial services, that our firm or the similar firms offer. So my talk will be more on what's happening in this space, where we are, what kind of use cases we have implemented, and what are some general trends of AI/ML in financial services sector, covering different domains of financial services like wealth management, banking, insurance, fintech, and corporate finance. But I will talk more on what we have done, what we have implemented, because as I said, they're not platforms. We are more of service-oriented firm in terms of providing financial services, but still we are now embedding a lot of AI solutions within our offerings, which may help our end customers or help us provide better offerings for our customers. So that's what the agenda would be. But first, I would like to start with an overview of financial services. Where does AI fit in financial services domain? So mainly there are 4 pillars for whatever we do in financial services when it comes to AI/ML work. So everything is driven for our customers. So customer experience and personalization is the key first main pillar. Then we want to have use cases where we can achieve some kind of efficiency, operational efficiency. So we will have use cases where operational efficiency is important, automation of work is important, where we can get some work, repeated work automated through RPA automation or through AI. Risk management and fraud detection is one big area for us. So that's the third pillar where most of the financial services use cases would be linked to. And obviously financial design and cyber security. So in today's domain, the financial services sector, the data is very important. And the security of data is another big area where we want AI to help us. So these are the 4 pillars where financial services will be benefited the most through these AI sectors. Now, there are some stats that I have put up, like why this discussion is even important. Because as you see here, almost 83% of the financial services organizations, in some form or the other, they have started using the AI. And that time will definitely catch up to 100% soon. And most of the customer interaction, 95% should be handled by AI very soon. These are some stats which obviously I got from leading service provider firms that they have published in their reports. But these are some interesting stats which makes this talk even more useful. So what financial services sectors are currently doing with AI/ML, where they can go, and how certain vendors or we can partner with other tech providers to catch the risk even faster. So that's the whole idea here. Now in financial services, again I'm just setting up the context first. In financial services domain, there are some key business drivers that drive everything. So most of the use cases, 82% of the use cases are driven for customer experience enhancement. Most of the use cases will be for customer service oriented, and then we just move towards developing new product being the least one. But the major drivers are again aligned with the pillars that I have mentioned. So customer service and personalization, more on improving the productivity and automation. Revenue, increasing the revenue, most of our use cases will tap to that, and obviously reduction of the cost. So that's the key drivers. And these are again the stats which are more from the global context in financial services domain. And these are the top implemented use cases in financial services so far. So chat automation, fraud detection, AI virtual assistant being the top 3. Most of the work in AI has already happened in financial services domain. So that's how the industry stands as of today when it comes to implementation of AI in financial services. Now coming to who we are and what we do. So we are a financial services firm. So we have 7 different verticals within our organizations, like broking and distribution being our largest one. And then we have AMC, we have private wealth management, we have institutional equities, we have private equity, we have investment banking, and we have housing finance. So we have 7 different business verticals, and we have around 7 million customers, and it's continuously growing. Several franchisees, 1 lakh crore of AUM in AMC that we are maintaining currently. So this is how our organization is currently placed, and the way data science AI is acting as a horizontal right now. So we are there to cater analytical data science, machine learning needs for any of our verticals. Local distribution being the largest one, so most of our use cases will obviously be tackling that. But we do a lot of use cases in AMC space or in private wealth management space, investment banking, mergers and deals. We have started working in that area slowly and gradually. But there are trends that probably I will show later where companies are working a lot on these particular domains as well in applying AI solutions. But that's how we are. We have a lot of data in terms of applying AI. 7 million customers, all their touch points, all their digital footprints, all their calling data, the way they interact with our chatbots, the way they interact with our applications, our website, our apps. So all possible digital footprints of our customers are already present with us. We have a lot of opportunity to mine that data and build a lot of personalizations for our customers. And we also have we also have a lot of trading data because since we are connected to market, we have a lot of use cases related to market data also. So all of our implementations are basically divided into 4 categories. The way we are working on AI, so we divide it into 4 parts. One big part for us is customer data analytics. As I said, like we have a lot of data, so we have a lot of customer data related use cases. Second vertical within data science for AI for us is market data analytics, then personalization engines, and then very positively we are working on AI powered use cases. So as I said, like we are not tech firms, so we normally work only on those use cases which we take to production most of the time. So all of our use cases are productionized, whatever is trading. So we only work very small use cases we take for research, but most of our cases are mostly aligned with whatever we can take to production. Now in customer data analytics, that's being the biggest one. It touches all the customer journeys. So we have 4 case studies that we have today, but customer data analytics being the main one for us. So our journey starts from lead acquisition. So the moment a customer starts looking for some financial services needs, we want to engage them right from that point onwards. So we have applied data science and AI in optimizing the cost of the leads. There is a cost that we pay for each and every lead to certain marketing or to mobile, where from wherever we acquire that lead. So we have done a lot of use cases on optimization of the cost on leads. Then once the lead is there, you also need to prioritize the lead because not every lead can be handled by your sales. So then we have use cases related to lead prioritization. Then once the lead is converted into customer, not every customer trades. So we need to only data says only 30-40% of the customers who are onboarded or account is open, they do trading. But obviously we want to extract revenue from the customers, so we need to make them trade. So then again we have models which work on which gives a lot of insights on who are the customers whom we should engage to increase our activation rates. A lot of work goes there in our area where we say like it's an activation related work. Then once the customer has started trading, we also want these customers to bring more money to us. So we have a lot of use cases for bringing more margins from our customers. All of this happens to AI models. We have all that response and data that I have mentioned. But these are some of the use cases where we go. Once he started trading with us, then we start to do cross-selling and upselling. Then we have cross-selling use cases. Then we also want this customer to stay with us. So we have a lot of early warning related models where the customer is at the risk of leaving our platform or they stop trading. Then we have those kind of models with us. And then customer lifetime value predictions and propensity models are obviously part of our customer analytics framework. So that's one big vertical for us. I have one slide that I will show where we will walk you through the entire customer life journey, how we have analytics model and what kind of results we are getting. Second big area for us is market data analytics. As I said, like we are wealth management firm, so we are here to increase wealth of our customers. We have access to all the market data. How can we build better portfolios for our customers so that we can get their money and can give them good returns? That's the simple math that works here. Customer comes here, they bring their money, all they want is returns. So end of the day, customers are here for returns. So we have a lot of research on that. That's why AI will play a good role for us, a very big role for us, where we want to build sophisticated AI models which can definitely help us identifying the stocks in Indian market which can give good returns. So we have one big framework which is live on our apps and insights are related, research are available. where we are named that as alpha generator because the goal is to generate alpha in short term, mid term, and long term. So alpha is nothing but an actual return that we can generate over the benchmark. So suppose Nifty is giving 5%, if we can give 7%, then 2% is the alpha that we generated. So that's again very straightforward thing. But the idea is in market data analytics, alpha generator is one big project for us. Second big area in market data is derivative trading. There's a lot of derivative trading happens and almost 80-90% of the customers are losing money in derivative. That's the fact and that's published by NSE itself. NSE also publishes that data continuously. Now how can we help our customers reduce their losses? That's again big area where we are exploring and we have some nudges on our app where we nudge our customers wherever we think like these actions in past leads to a lot of losses in derivative and you are about to do something similar. Better you do these three things and you can at least reduce your losses. So idea is not to make the losses zero. You can't make that. That's the fact. But you can at least if you can reduce the losses, that will help our customers. So that's again the agenda behind these kind of use cases. Then volatility prediction and smart portfolio construction are normal use cases that we work on in market data analytics. Then we have third vertical within our team, which is personalization engine. So there's a lot of talk about personalization, hyper personalization, there's a lot of talks in this forum today and yesterday. Where personalization, hyper personalization is there, and that's true for financial services also. So we also want something similar. So we have our app which is then completely personalized, like based on the way you are interacting with the apps. We have that data, and then we suggest what should be the best landing page for a customer, or what to show that customer. So all of that is completely personalized to our AI algorithms. Our entire search is personalized. The way the search works on our apps and our websites, they are personalized. So AI plays a big role there. Then hyper-personalization through digital campaigns. Again, a case study that I selected for today, where all the campaigns that we send to our customers. So we are now using Gen AI to generate the text, even the images, based on customers' profile, the way they interact with our systems, and then a very personalized message goes out to our client. That message could be even a welcome call or a call which is linked to one of these use cases where we are nudging them for getting activated or making more margin or cross-selling or any of our investment products. So all of that is embedded in our hyper-personalization digital campaign framework. The fourth vertical, which Rishikesh will be talking a lot today, will be more on Gen AI powered use case. Again, with Gen AI, as I said, we are taking very positive steps. So we have one project which is live, which is so ours is an advisory form. So we have advisors and we have clients. So we have started building and we have rolled out that Copilot for our advisors, which is a tool which helps our advisors to understand our customers better and give them a better offering. So that's again fully Gen AI powered tool that we have developed. Rishi will be talking more on that today. Then we have trade reconciliation engine. So again, our phone is again in this financial service sector compliance and regulations. We have to be bounded by those compliance and regulations. So we have a lot of use cases in that particular domain, compliance regulations. So we have developed one smart trade reconciliation, which is trade surveillance system for us, where any trade which is entered into the system is reconciled with what's there in our trading data as per our compliance. Then we have more use cases on Gen AI for report summarizer or research report that we call it document summarizer, normal use cases that we have also implemented and we are productionizing production. So that's how we are using AI use cases within our industry. I have selected few use cases. So from customer journey analytics. So as I said, like right from the acquisition till the customer is onboarded with us, till he has become matured, every aspect of that customer is step-based through some of the AI ML models. And we have already started seeing returns out of that. So we have started this group almost 3 to 4 years back. Now we are matured enough that we can say that we are seeing returns on our investment in AI ML through these use cases that we have worked on. So started with, as I said, started with acquisition to activation. We have very good referral models by the way. So here we can identify customers who can bring good referrals. And to those customers who can bring good referrals, we incentivize them. So whom to incentivize is again driven by our AI algorithms. So these kind of use cases like cross-sell, very common and it's traditionally, all financial services firms do have these kind of models. We now have a sophisticated framework for that, more AI algorithm. Then growth, obviously growth is another good use case for us where we categorize our customers into different buckets and we try to move them a bucket higher. Suppose a customer is giving us medium slab revenue, we try to move them to higher revenue. So we don't try that. It cannot happen like a very small revenue customer become a very large for us immediately. So it's a journey. So that's why we have a lot of growth related use cases of the AI solution that we work on. We try to implement. And retention is obviously it's a very big challenge. We have a lot of computers who provide these services at no brokerage at all, but we are an advisory firm. So whatever we are offering to our customers, it comes with an advice. So that's why we charge higher brokerage, but at the same time we will see a lot of attrition in our customers. So for that we have a lot of models that we are able to retain our customers to increase our retention rates. But overall we have seen quite a good impact of these applications, AI-based applications in our actual revenue streams, because at Motilal Oswal or at any other financial service organization, it's very important that you are taking your revenue stream through these use cases. Otherwise, they are not like. This is our personalization, digital campaign personalization thing that I was saying. These are the actual images and text that is generated through GenAI that we are using and we are sending to our customers. Again, powered by GenAI, and the entire process is fully automated. Earlier, there used to be a digital campaign team who sits and craft these text messages, create those images through our content generation team. Now we are able to reduce that team a lot through GenAI powered text generation and GenAI powered image generation. So a lot of this happens on the fly through an automated, system that we have developed, and these messages go out to our customers. Second case that I want to talk more on is the alpha generator thing, which is again a service which is very core to our offerings. Where what we are, the problem statement is very straightforward. We want to generate alpha over Nifty returns in different time horizons. It's not just one use case; it's multiple use cases. It's a framework which will solve most of the problems for us. So we want to build a model for very customers who are trading in very short-term horizon. We'll have a short-term model. Customers trading for medium horizon. We'll have medium-term predictions. So long-term investors will have large-term models. That's what the whole idea is. But the problem is, can we identify stocks which can give us good returns over Nifty in different time horizons? Obviously, this work, we are 37-year-olds from, so a lot of we have a full trading floor. We have full traders who do a lot of research, but they are focused on very selected group of stocks. For example, a trader can focus on only 10 stocks at a time. He can do full technical analysis, and they are expert in that domain. There is no doubt about it. But what we are limited with that is we are limited to is a coverage of 300 or 500 stocks at the most. There are 4,000 stocks on NSE which are traded. Now that's where AI comes into picture. So we have that knowledge base where our traders know what to look at, how they monitor those trends in the market, what indicators they look at, how they look at that indicators. If we can featureize them as features and pass them to a model, it's a perfect use case for AI. So that's what we have done here. So technical analysis is one definite hypothesis for short-term predictions. But then we have fundamentals for long-term. We have a lot of news data, we have jobs data, we have our own data. So all of that goes into our data input pipeline. And then the USP for us is the feature engineering. So because we know what to look at. So MACD or simple moving average could be an indicator. But what should we look at? How those decisions are being taken manually. We have trained machine on all those decision forms. In form of obviously in form of numerical numbers. So that's the crux of these solutions. We have featureized them as features, and then the rest is same as for any other machine learning pipeline. We have features, we have created them, then we have feature selection pipeline where we use deep learning models, and then we have AI/ML models, and then the backtesting framework. So we have backtested these models for almost 22 years of data, and objective is always clear. We want to identify stocks which can get good returns. So our goal in modeling is not to build a classifier. Our goal in modeling is just to reduce false positives. If we can reduce false positives, because somebody is going to put money on these predictions. So having false positive is disastrous for us. So what we do is, in certain time, if we feel that this is model is not giving enough confidence in false positive, we don't even give any recommendation. So our philosophy is give less predictions, but give with very high confidence. So that's what the entire framework is based on. So there could be days where for a weekly model we are not even recommending anything. It's because the model is not confident enough to invest somebody's money in those stocks. So we have done a lot of backtesting on that, and then we have drilled down what day to give these recommendations, what should be the number of stocks that we should recommend, whether it should be one stock, five stocks, 10 stocks. We have done all those analysis. Then finally, what we have, I think these are slightly not actual numbers because we can't show those numbers directly on it, but they are slightly creative numbers here. But this is how the analysis would have been done. So if somebody has invested money in September 23, if he stayed invested in Nifty, what would be his return? Versus if he invests in one of our models, let's say 7-day model or 15-day model, how the power of compounding could help to gain more returns. So that's the philosophy of backtesting these models for a longer time period. So we have backtested for almost 22 years. Once we were confident like we can achieve 75, 80 plus, we are not targeting any 90% or 99% accuracy here. We are only targeting if we are right 75 to 80% and we speak at least 90 or 95% of time. So the recall is almost 85 to 90%, or the season is about 75%. We are good to give these recommendations because we know that then we will have a risk framework in place. We will apply a lot of stop losses, we will apply a lot of risk management framework in terms of filters, and we would be able to maintain those returns because that knowledge is already present within the organization, like how to trade with these list of 5 or 10 stocks which comes out. So that's the whole idea. We want to come out with list of stocks which can give good recommendations, build their portfolio, and then we have implemented it as a strategy, and we have got the approval from exchanges, and we have also implemented it as a research idea on our website. So anybody who is trading with Motilal or as a broker, they can go to the app and they can see the phone calls from us, which is in the section of our research area. So that's how it's productionized now. And we are still 75 plus, at a PCM level. Not every week we will give calls, but we will give calls whenever we are confident. So that's the whole idea of having Alpha Innovator as a project for us. I will hand over to Rishikesh to just walk you through 2 more use cases on generative AI.
Hello guys, this is the third day and the last session in this hall. Just want to ask how many of you are here from the first day? Great. So I just hope that I'll be able to add some more knowledge because I know you have been going through a lot of use cases, knowledge that is going on in the last 3 days. So let's go through it. So first is the advisor co-pilot. As you all know, as Kapil mentioned, Motilal Oswal is advisory firm. So what do I mean by that is, unlike the discount brokerages, Motilal is more into the advisory. How we can help customers do a better trade, how do we help them to manage their portfolios, how do we get them good knowledge in terms of what is happening in the market, how is your portfolio doing, what all you should buy, you should not buy. So that kind of knowledge advisors interact with the customers on a regular basis. So that is the core advantage. But now, see, market is very dynamic in nature. Every day there is so much happening in the market, there are so many stocks moving, market is changing. There's such a dynamic things which are happening. How does an advisor keep himself updated with all this information? That's very difficult. And he has to manage a lot of customers in a day. He has to update every customer that, okay, this is what's happening in your portfolio. This stock is going down, you should buy more, or this is something changing. There's so much happening. And advisor has to manage with a lot of customers and also a lot of customer queries. So with the advent of this Gen AI that is happening in the market right now, these solutions were difficult earlier. But now with the Gen AI, we thought that okay, something different can be done here. Because all this information, the news, the reports, the annual reports, the financial reports, a lot of different report textual data that is continuously getting published on a regular basis. So LLM plays a very important role here. So that's why we started with this advisor co-pilot, which will sit with him and guide him through all this information that he will be able to go through it. And this information, right, as I mentioned, in real time is very difficult, so we also try to say we have real time. We can help clients and advisors go to get this updated information. So a lot of regulatory things also, compliance related things, regulatory related things will be beneficial to the advisors here. So I'll take you through like how it's happening. This is a very high level picture of how it looks like in terms of the overall technology stack. So, see, as I mentioned, there's a lot of data. As I mentioned, we have Research 360 as a multi-level platform which has a lot of financial related information, and also the financial information, right? All of this is very public. A lot of this information is public, but just the thing is, it's humongous in nature. A lot of numbers and things you have to do on a regular basis to get some insights out of it. So that's what we have tried to do some here, thing here. So the advisor, how the overall flow looks like is, advisor is directly on a call with the clients, and there is a communication that happens. It may happen that the client will say that okay, आज इस stock का भाव क्या चल रहा है, and then the advisor will say that okay, सर ये चल रहा है, इसलिए कोई न्यूज़ अपडेट सभी चल रहा है, do you want to buy? The customer will say that okay, he asked me some more questions about the stock. And this kind of communication happens, it's a multilingual in nature. A lot of things happen over this. So what we've done is we have tried to think of three different type of inputs. One is with the UI we will have first the textual input, and then the second is like voice based input, and the last one is a fully interactive system where it is going to listen to calls on a live, and then advisor will get pop-ups as in terms of like how he should communicate with the client. So one question to everyone: how many of you have received calls from clients, call centers, and you are told that okay, sir, just give me 5 minutes, I will give you this information, and you will put on hold. Because how many of you this happened? What's really happening here is, see, the UI, the information that is there is very complex. Many times what happens is the information that you are looking for is ingrained in like a list of links. You have to go through a lot of links, and then you will get to the information. But getting that information with one click or one chat is very difficult. That's why like this communication takes a lot of time. But that can be improved with this kind of solutions, either with the directly correlated solutions or even with the question and advisor can put in the queries and just get the answers on the fly. So what we have is, in terms of the data sources, we have internal data like client profile, the trade related information. We have a lot of research getting generated, like what calls, what stocks are going to go high. So there is a research that is generated by Motilal Research, so that is there as an internal data. And as Kapil mentioned, we also have a lot of internal ML models that signify certain properties for the customer, like whether this customer is going to trade in a higher bracket or whether he may trade in the derivative. So this kind of different customer behavior with models we have with some probabilities and all that also becomes useful here. And then the public information. The public information related to the annual reports, research reports, there are a lot of filing reports, all of that is coming from the NSE based or the CB based filings. And we also have a lot of different products in Motilal. So there is a fact available with that, there is a documentation around all these products. So all of this is also being fed as a training material to the systems. And then from again the internet also, there are some documents which gets ingested internally, and there are some which will be available from the internet. So what we have is a multi-step agents. When the query comes in, we have a different agents who will be trying, based on the type of the input requests that are coming, we have certain different type of models. And what will happen is, through those different type of tools will be invoked. All of these are part of tools. We have internet tool, pandas tool, SQL tools, all of the different tools are available. And through the agent, what's really happening is, we are trying to just combine all of it together and get the final output. So this agents are just going to gather the information from the different tools and compile it together and pass it back to the advisor in this case. And during building of this thing, we also came up with like we thought different type of challenges. How many of you have done the prompting and you see that every time the same prompt and you're getting so once, let's say you got a prompt and you got a right answer with that, you're expecting this kind of an output, you got it. And if you run it multiple times, does it always give you the right answer? Does it happen? No, right? So these systems are a bit challenging in nature. So when we are building the systems, usually what happens is we are saying LLMs, you do the prompting and everything gets done. But it is not that easy. You have to do multiple prompting And even after multiple prompting you do, it's not sure that you will get the answer also every time in 100% accurate way. So that's the challenge with the systems. So we had to do this lot of prompting, get to know okay, how to combine all these tools together, get the accurate expected output. So it takes a time. And on top of it, there are a lot of new models keep on coming every 2 months or 1 month. That cycle is also getting ready over time. There was the 3.5, then 4 came in, 4.0 came in, and again new models are coming in. And what really happens with this is the agents that we create are not going to be consistent across every model. It changes. So if the model changes, we have to rework on the prompting again because these new models will be twisted slightly with the way they will work with the prompts. So again, that's kind of a rework that happens. So it's not easy to plug and play these models right now in the current framework. So we have been going with a lot of like OpenAI based models right now, and that's how the system currently looks in. And this is doing great work with our advisors because they are getting a reduced time because they don't have to do a lot of manual search. They can get a lot of this information in a much easier way. We also have very personalized recommendations to the clients. For example, what stocks to recommend to what kind of clients. Based on their behavior, based on their performance, and a lot of information that we have, we try to personalize. Because there's a lot of research that Mozilla generates at a time, and we want to understand which clients to be given the what kind of recommendation. Because not everyone will like this stock, one stock may not work with everyone. Again, it has to be personalized to every client. So that's also something that we do, and that shared with the advisors so that they can make a better communication with the clients. So that's the advisor co-pilot. And now let me come to one more use case that we have, which is the trade reconciliation, intelligent trade reconciliation we call. See, the finance industry is regulated and there's a lot of compliance requirements which are there. And as we are advisory firm, one thing that happens is advisor cannot make trade on behalf of client without the client's consent. It may happen, right? That advisor is by mistake or anything happens and he is doing the trade on behalf of client, that should not happen. So there is a regulatory that the client should give in some written form that he want to trade in this stock and then only the advisor is able to do it. It should be either to the call, should be through the messages or should be through some forms. So he has to in some way do it. But now the second part is, see there are a lot of trade that is happening on a regular basis and we want to validate that okay, whether the information that is given and the trades that are happening are in sync. Because if it is not, everything cannot be validated, so there has to be the sample check. And this has been happening till now, only 1% of trades were manually verified by the team manually before to this. But it's a very tedious task and a lot of time goes every day into it. So that's why that's why we have created a system which will be able to do this reconciliation for a good amount of trades which are happening. So, in terms of a high level architecture, what's really happening is on a regular basis, we get all these images, PDFs through the call audios, WhatsApp, SMS, wherever this trade related information is coming, we get it in the cloud, and then what really happens is see, one of the biggest challenges are in this is images and audio. Okay, because images to some level images and PDFs are sorted to some level by the current technology. Like you can do a very good parsing out of the images or the PDFs in a much better way with the existing technologies which are there, and you can pass out the required information. But audios are very complex. The audios that we have are like there's a lot of different languages which are going on. There's a lot of different contexts. So there's a noise. All of those things create some challenges in this case, and those two things play a very important role. So we do pass images and we do also pass the audios in this case and get some structured output. And then after doing some data cleaning, we have this GenAI engine. Now GenAI engine helps us pass important information out of it. Before the GenAI, it is required that we have to create this NER based classification models. That is something we have been doing from a long time when we are dealing with the NLP based data, but with GenAI it is simplified to a good extent. At the cost level also the things have improved a lot right now. Even the forum model which used to be very costly nowadays the price has been reduced. So prices have been reduced so we can easily use it for a good amount of data. Then we do key entity interaction and we have an internal data lake from which we get to see the trades that have happened. We also get this information that is coming past in some good way, and then this information is matched with what the client did actually say, and then whether the trade was executed in a way, and then we create a report saying that okay, this many percentage of not everything gets passed 100%, but at least we are able to pass to a good extent because earlier the human level passing that used to happen, it used to be only 1%. And now with this, we are able to like process almost like 70% of the inputs which are coming in. That's like a big number, that's a big saving to the organization in this. So now I'll just briefly take you over the different type of use cases which are there in the financial industry. Few years back, like around 6-7 years back, it used to be told that ML and AI will not be used in the banking and finance industry. It used to happen a lot. Everyone used to say that okay, in banking and finance they will not use AI and ML. Because at that time the regulatory related things were very tough and difficult. But things have improved over the time, and a lot of different applications have come out in the AI and finance, the banking and finance industry, the overall BFSI industry. And I think now they are the biggest users of the AI ML, as per my knowledge, in this technology. So in the banking, the usual see across the all things, the first use case that is there is the customer analytics. How do we make the customer's journey better? That is the first use case across all of it. And then we have the fraud detection, automations related to the overall journey of how does the customer gets onboarded, how do you provide better services to the customer, the chatbots and all those kind of things are also important in this. Then when we go to the corporate finance, different type of algorithms helps in like doing corporate budgeting, doing some portfolio optimization, like whatever portfolio the customer has, how do you do a better optimization through that. Compliance related things are there even across all of this, investments and the investment management. Then the capital market, the major use cases like algorithmic trading, how do we do faster and automated trading in the markets. Then identify like how the stocks and markets in overall is going to see the trajectory, not just the markets related to NSE, but even the crypto and all other assets which have some kind of a movement. How do we predict and create a better predictions out of it? Then doing some investment planning and how do we do trade executions in a much better way. Then in fintech is like across again have a lot of different verticals and can serve all the BFSI. So fraud identification, loan sanctions, personal sales, all of it. And finally like insurance. Insurance is also big use case because insurance is again a lot of different portfolio of products. How do we get to the right customer? How do we identify whom to sell what? All of that plays a very important role in the overall insurance, and also like claim management plays an important role. These is like high level picture we wanted to give. With that, we will end our presentation here and we are open to the questions. Kapil, if you want to add something.
So we have a few more slides that we wanted to show that is more on the use cases in general that we are not working on. Now we are not tech firms, but we are looking for tech partners now. So we want to engage with tech partners and we are already on a journey of AI and we have seen that we have already implemented a lot of use cases in traditional data science to ML to AI to Gen AI. Now we are on this journey and there are a lot of things which are emerging trends. For example, I will quickly walk you through. Like there are high impact use cases in financial services which globally the firms are working on. There is a lot of work going on in wealth management firms on robo advisory. So robo advisory has both pros and cons, but the work is going on robo advisory. And our alpha generator is would be one of the input to robo advisory. But we want to now take our journey and we want to have a version of robo advisory where we will understand the whole profile of our customers, and at some point of time, we feel that our advisor co-pilot will be replaced by a robo-advisor, where there will be no advisor in place. Client coming on our platform will be interacting directly with our robo-advisory, so there won't be any need for an advisor sitting in and helping him. Our robo-advisor should help him automatically. That's our vision, which we want to be there. That's where we are working on that direction. So these are again a big emerging use case, and there are again some stats to support this, like how much AUM is already locked globally through robo-advice. These are most of this what is happening with global firms, the firms like BlackRock and the likes of JP Morgan, where they have these robo-advisory based solutions, where a lot of AUMs are already locked. But we want to catch up that race. That's what is the idea. So it is one big area where we want to work on. AI-based stock trading, again, there are three different domains for that: algorithmic trading, predictive trading, and high-frequency trading. We are into some sort of algorithmic trading right now, where we are building alternative data models, embedding it into an algorithm, and that algorithm is taking decision based on the model's output. But we want to move into high-frequency trading space. So again, we look for partners because it's a totally different stack altogether when it comes to AI-based trading. These are all key trends. Again, I will skip few slides quickly in time. For insurance, again, one big area in BFSI sector where AML is there. Now, we as Motilal Oswal, we are a distributor of insurance. We are not the maker of insurance, but we do distribute insurance. So for us, insurance is just like any other investment product. So we have normal, models where we identify which customers have high propensity for insurance, and we work on those kind of use cases. But as it times, a lot of use cases and which are already emerging for insurance might not be a lot of relevance for us, but yeah, good to know. Banking industry, which we have already covered, a lot of use cases for all three offices, front office, middle office, and back offices, where there are use cases related to AI. Debt collection for housing finance, we do use some cases where we want to streamline our debt collection pipeline through AI. Again, some classic use cases are there. Corporate finance, we do use portfolio optimizations and compliance. So every corporate this vertical is applicable to almost every financial services. So we do that. Merger and acquisition again. So we have investment banking vertical where we do a lot of big deals and where a lot of manual work is there. There's a lot of document study, paper study, where again AI and GenAI will play a big role. We have just started exploring this space. Again, a lot of potential there, and we will catch up that. Generative, I think we have mostly covered this. We are all generic, yeah. So that's what we wanted to cover, and we'll just open up quickly for questions if you guys have any.
Hi, I'm Nisha. I'm part of American Express. I have a question on your prediction, where you're predicting, say, a stock forecast, which you're sending to a customer, like in an industry like a petroleum industry right now. It was on a very high trajectory over the last 20 years versus we forecast a decline already as EV is coming in. How are you tackling this kind of a problem with your models?
You mean a sudden new information or a general trend?
Yeah, so as we talk about stock prices, industry, and there are a lot of other macroeconomic factors which play a very important role. And what was relevant in the past 5 years or past 20 years may not be relevant in the next 5 to 20 years. Yeah. How are you tackling this problem from a modeling standpoint?
So these kind of factors will come in for our long-term predictions, not for our very short-term or medium-term. For example, we have a model where we predict for quarter. One quarter we make our predictions and every quarter we rebalance it. So there we have fundamentals data and we have all the alternate sources of data. Like we take all commodities data, we take oil related data, all the commodities information, and bring in that into some specific information. Like for example, beta is a metric that we only use, where we bring in that information from beta and then we see the correlation. Obviously, you're right, these won't be the pattern which in past might be present, but there would be some pattern in terms of how these patterns, with, for example, the correlation of gold with the stock prices, if that would have impacted the prices of gold related stock, there might be something similar correlation with oil related stocks. So that's what we want to bring into our model. So that's how we are handling that, by bringing in alternate sources of data.
Okay, thank you.
Hi.
Yes.
This is Mrityunjay. I work in Oya Financial. So
Yeah.
if you know ING, it is rebranded as Oya in US. So actually, I'm part of a data science team. So we work for investment management in Oya. So one of the questions what I had is not all the use cases is necessary to be solved through AI.
True.
And how do you classify or how do you take a decision in your use cases? Because in most of the use cases, what we are working, so most of the use cases can be solved in the normal ML model or normal NLP itself. because instead of going for AI. So how do you take a decision?
Yeah. So it depends on complexity, data availability, that's the normal answer, but many cases don't even need ML, for example. It could be solved with simple stats. And we do that. If there is a use case where we can solve a problem of anomaly detection by simple restore mechanism, we go and do that particular solution, identify outliers and give to our operations team. So we do that. But when it comes to complex cases, whether we should go with an ML approach, whether we should go with a deep learning approach, or a more sophisticated LSTM kind of model, it really depends on the complexity of the problem. The
Especially I was talking about the stock selection program.
Yeah.
Stock selection.
Stock selection, we definitely, so we don't need to explain these models. We are very clear. Here we can go with an LSTM model, and we know we have a lot of literature survey. I have been part of a lot of organizations before where we have implemented all of these algos, where LSTMs and these kind of sequential prediction models, but data is sequential in nature. So here there is no point trying to bring a static model. So we know sequential model will work, but now there are a lot of better versions of sequential model. Now not just LSTMs have improved a lot. We are now even using our attention layers and all in our architecture. So here we go for a deep complex architecture because we don't need to explain anything to our user. If we can bring good returns, our business is happy and we are doing a good job. But if it comes to a use case where explainability is the key, for example, there are a lot of use cases where business wants to know why this customer will give us more revenue. So we need to give some reasoning for that. Okay, because we have interacted with our, for example, why should I pitch a high value product like IAP or PMS for a customer? So we need to give some reasoning for it. Okay, this customer belongs to an urban city at a very high profile area. His net income is this much, and he has already interacted on our application. He has gone through some PMS related documents. So we have to give one reasoning for him, and then they take action. Here we can't go with black box model. So there's no point applying any deep learning or any black box model which you can't explain. There are ways to do that, but here we go with simple models. It may be a simple random forest attribute is good enough for us. In this scenario, we are getting good results with that because it's a simple classification. So that's how normally we take this in.
For a stock related recommendations, forecasting or 3 months, 6 months. For a stock related, advisory in terms of which stock, how it will grow for the maybe short term or even up to 12 months, etc. So there could be technical analysis or even some time series or quantitative model. That is one approach. Or other approach is like fundamental analysis. So how do you do the selection of both, or is it a hybrid selection, or how do you?
So for long term, so our selection of features is based on the horizon of our prediction. For example, we know like if we want to make a prediction for intraday, for example, or very short term calls, where I don't even need technicals, I just need the imbalance in the market book. So I see the buy sell that, sell side that, I create the imbalance and I can predict for next 1 or 2 hours. So I know what kind of nature of the data will help in predicting this. If I am predicting for a weekly, I know technicals work very well. The moment we go beyond month, where fundamentals play a role, obviously fundamentals are published quarterly. So whenever I have a use case where every quarter I need to rebalance for 6 months, there these fundamental data we get, and then we make our model weighted more on fundamentals there, not on technicals. Again, there is a mechanism which comes automatically through our AI encoders based framework. But here we already have that intuition. We have our experts, financial experts within our organization. We regularly meet them. We understand how they would have predicted this, let's say for 8 or 10 stocks, what kind of information they look for, and then they take a decision. We collect that information for all possible stocks, and then we build a classifier on that. So it is more of a financial expert's input, our intuition, and model feature selection criteria, which gives them good data related confidence for us. Like when we have backtested for 20 years, these kind of features have helped us in predicting a return for 6 months or 3 months. So that's how our features are selected basically.
Because for your portfolio services, I think your returns have been phenomenally high, 20, 35, 40% per annum. What the recent reports say.
Yes.
You are number 2 or something. So
Yes. So that's a niche team who is working on those. Even our funds are doing quite well. I mean, our cap fund is in top 2 for a long time. So that's a different team who is focusing on offerings for very high-end customers. So for example, PMS, you need to have very high amount to be invested. Our solutions are more for retail customers who want to invest in 3 months, 6 months, who don't want to pay large portfolio management services fees. So So who can just come on our platform, use our AI, and then they can have that. So that would be the difference. We want to reach out to masses now.
Hi,
Yeah.
my name is Ashwin.
Yes.
I'm part of Commonwealth Bank of Australia. So I am a customer as well as promoter for Motilal Oswal. My question is more around regulators. Specifically, you mentioned that you are also a highly regulated industry.
Yes.
So I can emphasize how it goes about in banking as well.
Yes.
My question is, in terms of regulatory adoption or regulators being open to adopting the AI ML, what sort of restrictions are there when you're working on your models?
Yeah, so classic example is the generated AI generated text, which I have shown, like we are generating campaigns through AI and then we are reaching out to our customer. Now compliance comes in between. We cannot generate a text which is not as per compliant. For example, our text cannot have anything related to guaranteed returns. And these are all guidelines. If we don't follow these guidelines, we have to be happy around as a penalty. So once our model's output is there, we need to put a lot of regulations and frameworks there to make sure that we are aligned with what our compliance is saying. So compliance will give us, let's say, 5 page document. All of these things have to be followed whenever you are generating any return, anything as an output to our customers. So that's for more for tax generation and for compliance related to these things. Whenever it comes to returns and this, so again, if we are giving an advice, we cannot give any advice on guaranteed returns. So we can give it as a research call. So we have to follow that. Then from data privacy, there are a lot of regulations. So like the HDPDP Act coming in. So we are already in consultation with a lot of data consultancy firms, which will help us to build us DPDPA ready. So we are following all of that, and it's a challenge in this industry because not everything, because we could have been more creative in generating more text and images. But the moment this compliance comes in, we are then restricted for it, but we have to follow that. We have to be within that compliance.
So just to add to that, every solution from our side will have guardrails. So we have to create guardrails so that the systems that we are creating will not go beyond the regulations. So yes,
and the regulator is SEBI, right?
There are other regulators also. SEBI is not the regulator.
As the model, where do you submit your models to?
No, so it's not that way. Nobody right now in India, that is not there. Somebody is coming and regulating our model. But if we are using any algorithm, for example, if we start using our alpha generators output in an algo, we need to get it certified through exchanges. Like this particular NSE, for example, NSE could be one of the certificate issuer for us. Like we will do doing algo trading, this is what will be the AI output. We have to get it fully certified. So it depends on the nature of the use case and who is the regulatory authority for it. So for example, for any trading related things, we have to get everything. So in India, algo trading is not like normal algo trading in US. Here we have to have one test there. We have to have somebody who needs to have one test and then it goes to algo. So those regulations are there from the exchange and we have to follow them.
Alright, thank you.
Hi, Kapil.
Yes.
This is Vivek.
Yeah.
So the question is more on the architecture's perspective. So this is related to your case study to the AI-enabled advisor co-pilot.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming, so the advisors are asking the questions to the GenAI chatbot. So in that you have two kind of databases in your architecture. So one is the structured database. For the structured data, you are keeping your client profile, trade holding, etc. And there is another database for the unstructured data, which is like research reports and product catalog. So when the advisor is asking queries on the GenAI, so how does your engine know which database to query? So that is my question. Whether to query to a structured database or from the unstructured database? If you could just help me understand that.
see, these are part of the AI agents that we are creating, and inside we have multiple tools. These tools will take care of calling the different data. It's not that it's complete dynamic query, but there are multiple tools which knows what data to call. And the agent will do the orchestration when the information is coming that okay, this tool I need to call based on the input query that I'm getting. So that is the beauty of GenAI. And the agent and tool, the agentic framework that we're talking about, right? The multi-agent framework that we're creating. This setup, this is again like more of an engineering-based output that how do we fit in all of these things together and get the expected output. So what you're saying is handled by the agentic framework in this case.
So I wanted to know in the extension of his point, because you need real-time data and these language models are freezed at the point where they were trained. So how do you manage that vectorizing of the real-time data that you need to advise your customer right now. The second question is, have you tried incorporating causal inference models, probabilistic graphical models, which can also explain the decisions?
Yeah, see, in this case, not everything is live. What happens is this information, right? One is like a news is live. So news is the only part which is coming in a live environment, but all other information, even if there is a small delay, that's fine. You don't have to give like a very immediate results to that. So there are only few cases like the price and all, those are things only the very real time. But all other things will have like even if you have a 5 minutes delay, like it's not going to be having a big impact. So there we are trying to manage it in a time-based manner. Like what should be coming, getting a more priority, so that those things will be called first. And vectorization is like with the backend system which is working on a continuous basis to vectorize all of the data on a continuous basis. And when the questions are coming, we are able to query it on the time sorted basis, I would say.
Thanks.
And advisors have other skills also, which is a live feed of all the stock prices. It's not just this terminal. You know, advisors will not ask a question, what is the price of this stock? So here a terminal in front of him, Bloomberg terminal, where you get all the live feeds. So it's a mix of both.
Thanks.
Hi, I'm Mudit from pathway.com. We are a Python adaptation framework for real-time use cases. The question I have is because I saw real-time mentioned a few times and the gentleman pointed about real-time utilization. So is that even a problem statement that you see, let's say data sources changing continuously and you have to work on it? Is that something that is bothersome for you in a production setting?
Not directly, I would say, because even if the data is coming on a live, as I mentioned, like we are able to vectorize it in the backend, and we don't have to update the existing information. It is more of a time sorted information. Whenever like any query is coming, we always go for a time sorted approach so that anything that is recent in that will be picked up, because that's what the new thing is. So currently, like we don't face that as a challenge.
Okay, thanks.
Okay.
Alright. Thank you everyone.
Thanks a lot, guys.